Probe Youth Space. Hi guys, it's Danny from Latrobe Youth Space. I'm here just to do a quick little tutorial on how I sketch, how I do my sketches. So what I like to do is when I sketch drawings is I start with simple shapes and lines just to get a general idea of where the facial features will go. And just so just so you know, I'm trying to draw Cruella Deville from the live action 101 Dalmatians. Oh, hi Rowan. Just noticed that there's a chat feature. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try and draw Cruella Deville. So what I'm gonna start off with is I'm looking at my laptop monitor so I can kind of zoom into what I need to do. So I like to start off with a circle first of all. And that is a very wonky circle, but that's okay because we can always rub it out. So circle. And then, like I said, I'm just going to rub it out just to keep it neat and tidy, you know, because why not? And then what I also like to do is I like to kind of draw a line right in the middle of the face because this picture, I'll show you the picture again. As you can see, it's very asymmetrical, very face on. So I draw a line right in the middle just to keep everything in proportion, you know, because it's going to look a bit weird if one eye's bigger and one eye's a little lower, but, you know, worked for Picasso, so who knows. Um, so I hope you can see that because it's very light. Very hard to see the drawing. Oh, it is. Oh, um, maybe do I have it darker? I don't know how to change the lighting. Let me see. Is there a way? Um, what could I do? Um, let's see if I got a darker pencil. I might have a darker pencil. So let's see if this one works. Can you see that line? Is that a bit clearer? I think it is. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. So I'll quickly just redraw what I did. Is that a bit clearer, guys? Guys watching? A tiny bit. Oh, I think that's the darkest I can go. So maybe if I zoom in a little bit, let's see. Does that work? And hi, Lara. How are you? I forgot to say hi. So now what I'm going to do is look at my reference, which is my picture. And what she's got is she's got great bone structure. And her face kind of curves a little bit like this. So I'm going to draw my line again. Always start with the lines. And again, this is just the guide. It's, you know, if when you do draw the picture and your cheekbones might go out here, that's fine. The lines are just kind of what I work off, if that makes sense. So I'm then going to put her eyes. So let's see, where should I put her eyes? Eyes usually go here. So again, going to do lines. And usually I do a curved lines depending on what angle it is. But like I said, this photo is very front on. It's very asymmetrical. So I'm just going to keep the line straight. So let me look at my picture to make sure I'm doing okie dokie. Yep. And then another trick I picked up recently is, so depending on the face, it's usually half and then half. So say the face, the chin goes down here. So it'll be half of that will be where the nose is, and then half of that will be where the mouth is. And that's actually a pretty neat little trick I learned in, oh, I don't know, I think year 12, because before that I was just all over the place. And everything looked very, very disproportioned. So it it really helps to have these guidelines. Um, so I'm just trying to work out. I think I might have stuffed up a little bit here. Nose should be there, mouth should be there. Okay, not bad. Not bad. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her eyes a little bit bigger because this character is bigger than life. And her eyes describe, if you look at the picture, let me show you the picture. Look at those eyes. Those are just some evil looking eyes, So I really want to make those eyes prominent because, you see those looking at you, you're going to freak out a little bit. That is some serious glaring. Then I'm going to draw little squares just to, once again, point out where my eyes are going to be. The size of the eyes. So let me look at my reference. And how I do my eyes, I always start with the eyes. I don't know why. People usually start with defining features first. So a lot of people do the shading first and they like to detail a little bit of the hair. Usually people do facial features last, but I don't know why. I always start with the eyes. I guess because it gives me an estimate on the proportion of what I'm going to do. So if I look at the eyes, and this is going to be easy for Cruella Deville because she wears very thick eyeliner. So if I zoom into the picture, I can clearly see how the eyes are going to be thanks to the heavy eyeliner. So let me have a look. Her eyes kind of start here. And I'm going to mark that on both sides, again, just to keep the proportions going. And then, of course, you've got rises like a hill. And pretty much all my eyes start the same. And then as I go and rub out and detail it a bit more, it changes. I don't know, that's just how I work. And, I guess everybody works a bit differently. So her eyes do this. And then she's got that incredible wing line. That is amazing. Let's see. No, that's not right. That is not right. Let's see. Another pretty cool thing I learned, this was from my year 12 art teacher. The eyes, you never actually, it's really weird to explain, but with the eyes, especially in like these kind of pictures, you never really see the whites at the top or the bottom at the same time. And that helped me a lot because my pictures looked very weird, guys. I used to draw them eyes wide open and the pupil would be right in the middle. So you could see the whites around the top and the bottom. And it looked crazy. It really did. All my pictures looked shocked and, it didn't end well. So I'm going to draw the pupil and she's got kind of a glare in the eye. So a spark. So that's where the light hits. So, we can fill that in because that's the pupil done. And then she's she's got very gorgeous eyes. I think it's hazel. But for eyes, what I like to do is very lightly, I draw lines like this. If you can see it. And yeah, so I'd like to draw these lines. And I use a smudging technique. So I'm with shading, with grey lead, I love using grey lead because you can smudge it to make it look like shades. You can smudge it to make it look connected, and that's what I do. So with my little pinky, I'm going to smudge those lines that I just did, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. And then I'm going to go over it again, do my little light line strokes, and smudge over it again. I'm then going to go around. So if you look at someone's eyes, they've got like a line around the, I don't know, this is bad. I don't know the terminology of an eye, but I'm going to call it the color part before it goes to the black part of the eye pupil. It's got a ring around it. So I'm going to very lightly shade around that ring, just to darken that ring up a bit. And then smudge again. I love the smudging technique because it helps me a lot. I struggle with shading, and I got taught this technique by a friend of mine where they just literally smudge their shades and it works. Now I'm going to do the eyelids. So again, she's got very thick eyeliner, so that helps me a lot. So I'm going to thicken up this line. God, I wish I could do my eyeliner like hers. It's quite spectacular. Movie magic, that's what that is. How does that look on the screen? Okay, that looks okay. I'm constantly checking the screen to make sure, you know, it hasn't shut down. So keep drawing my lines. And then around here, she's got kind of the redness of the eye. So again, smudging, shading, that's where you do that to kind of give the 3D-ness of the eyeball. So that's that one. And it's odd. If you look at the picture, her wings are like way up here. So I'll just quickly draw a guideline. Her wings are up here. Is that coming up? Yeah. But her actual eyelashes don't stop until down here. So that looks a bit odd. But, you know, it's Cruella Deville. Ain't no one arguing with that person. So let me draw that eyeliner. Incredible eyeliner. There we go, that's the wing. So, color that in. How are we going for time? Oh my God, we're already halfway through. Oh my gosh, that went so quick. So, I guess today's tutorial is kind of like just the eye, and basics, how to start off a sketch. Like I said, we're running out of time. That's a good question. Did anybody grow up on 101 Dalmatians? Put in the comments if you did, because, you know, and which version, because there's quite a couple different versions. I grew up with the animated one, and I absolutely loved it. As much as Cruella Deville was evil, I loved the character. Um, Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the eyelashes. And the eyelashes are just like really simple. Ready? Flick, you're done. Flick, you're done. So just draw a couple of flicks here and there. And the eyelashes are huge and luxurious and long. It's going to rub out these squares. So the the eyelashes are going over the eyeliner because they are long and glamorous. And they get very thick and defined right at the end. Yeah, and then, like I was saying, grew up with the animated one. And then as I got older, by older I mean like 7, 8, I learned that there was a realistic one starring Glenn Close, and I loved it. I loved how, because they made her a bit different in that one. They made her a bit more glamorous. She had her own house of fashion, and that was pretty cool. So yes, I'm a big fan of Cruella Deville. Not because of what she does, but just because of how glamorous and fashionista she is. So I'm going to redo this line very faintly because her eyeliner starts below that line for her under eyeliner. And that's simple. She's just got a thick line of eyeliner. Let me have a look at my... And as it gets to the end, it gets a bit more fainter, so I'm going to thicken it up around here. Let's see. And it extends out, so right at the end it hooks out a bit. So it's kind of like, her eyeliner is very, let me grab a piece of paper so I can show you. Her eyeliner is very kind of like, it's like a fish really. So that's the top and it wings out. And then that's the bottom and it wings out again. So really it looks like a fish. But a glamorous fish, I must say. So then I'm just gonna darken those up. And then, yes. I'm gonna shade a bit more because, you know, shading's fun. And then it's around down here, it's a darker color. So what that line is, that's actually the bottom eyelid. So what the character or the makeup people have done is they've drawn the eyeliner under the eyelid, but they didn't do it on the eyelid, which some people do. I do that, and it hurts, but, you know, it's what I do. I'm now going to draw her evil eyebrows. So I'm going to get rid of this box because I do not need it anymore. Because I know where that eye is. And her eyebrow starts, I start with, again, basics, simple lines, just as a guide. So her eyebrows start about way down here, actually. So I'm gonna, my pencil works. Draw a line. And then about here is where the angle comes when it suddenly dips down. And if you look at the picture, show the picture again, her eyebrow kind of goes past where her eye ends, and because that's where her shadowing is. So, and she's got gorgeous eyeshadow. It's really weird how I'm obsessed with this villain because she's a villain. She's not a very good person. And that's perfect. So as you can see with that circle, that eyebrow is touching at the end of the circle. which is my guide for the eyes. So that has worked out perfectly. And I'm so happy it did because I didn't think it would. And then once again, I'm just going to draw the top part of it, just a very thin, faint one. And then it gets thinner as it goes. And again, this is just the guide. So then what I like to do, she's got, her eyebrows are they're not bushy. They're filled in awesomely, but her hair sprout above the filling. I think, if I remember correctly, I read somewhere that that was to give her kind of like cat kind of features, because if you watch the original, what is it, Batman, Catwoman had that kind of eyebrow as well, where it was gelled down and what's it called, brushed up to give her kind of that fur kind of look. And Cruella Deville is very obsessed with fur, so I think that's what they've done with this character. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start filling in these eyebrows, first by just doing simple lines to look like hair. Did you know eyebrows are hairy? And then every now and then I'll dart a line above the rest of them, just to give that cat eyebrow. Rub that out because I have drawn it in the wrong direction. And that's the great thing about drawing in grey lead. If you do make a mistake, it's so simple to fix. And I never used to be that person. I used to always draw in fine liner. So every time I made a mistake, I would scream a little bit because, you know, you've just ruined your hard work. So pop in the comments, do you like to draw in grey lead or do you like to draw in fine liner? Because, you know, everyone's different. Every now and then I still like to draw in fine liner. I like to do cartoons in fine liner. And then I'm still going with this eye, guys. This eyebrow. Just keep drawing, keep going, keep layering. And now with my smudging tool, which is my pinky, I'm going to kind of combine all those elements together to make the eyebrow look more full, more defined. And it's going to do a little bit more hairs here and there. But I think we have our eyebrow. How does that look on the paper? Rub out a bit at the top because you don't want these lines on your final result. Or if you do, that, you know, that's awesome. It's not a bad look. You know, I do like seeing the groundwork of how a picture is done. And now for her eyeshadow, you've got, from all that smudging you've done, you've got all this grey lead on your finger. So that's how I do eyeshadows. So yeah, just start smudging on your paper. But I also will, the eyeshadow ends right here, right at the eyebrow. So just gotta smudge that all up a bit. Smudgy, smudgy, smudgy. I don't know if it's cheating, but it works for me. So, you know, ta-da. And that is the basis of the eyebrows. But around here, you know what I've done? I think I misdone the eye a little bit. So I'm going to add on to that eye because eyebrow, because I have recalculated, and that is completely fine. You know, that's the awesome thing about art. You can rub out, you can restart. Yeah, art's pretty fun, guys. I missed it. I have not done sketches since year 12, and that was, God, how many years was that? 2017. 18, 19, almost 3 years ago. So I only recently started drawing again, and it's very fun to get back into it. So there we go. There we go. Fix the eye. Down here, it gets a bit darker. So I'm going to shade that in a little bit. And then smudgy time. There we go. That's how I like to do my shadowing. And then refine that eyebrow a little bit more because it gets lost in the eyeshadows. And then as you can see through smudging, we've lost the eyelashes, so we'll just redo them because why not? That's the fun. And there you have it. That is one eye done. And look at that. We are almost finished. We've got 4 minutes left. God, that went so quick, guys. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you guys have learnt some new techniques. And I'll give you a closer look on that eye. And I hope, if anything, you've learnt some new techniques like the shapes, how I start a face, how I build onto those shapes and those lines. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the pencil. I hope this one's a bit more better. And just to give you an example on how that technique has worked, can you guys see that? So that's Cher, another fabulous, let me just move that screen, another fabulous icon. And I did it exactly the same way as I've shown you. Start with a circle, and you can even see the circle because I used it for her cheekbones. So you start with a circle, you start with the half and the half and the half. And then with simple smudging techniques, you just, define the nose, you define the chin, you define the neck. Who else do I have? You guys will not know who this is, but her name is Lucille Ball. She was pretty awesome gal. But yeah, same with the technique, same with the shading, same with the circle, and you can see the circle as well because that's what I used for the top of her hair, the top of her bun. And I think I've got one in progress where you'll be able to see. Yeah, so I haven't finished this one, but as you can see with the smudging, you've got the shading of her face. And you probably can't see it, but there's very faint lines still because I'm still working on it. But you can see where the circle started up here. So you've got the eyes there. And then from the eyes, you got the nose, because half and half, and then half of the nose from the face is the mouth. So it is a pretty awesome technique. And you know what? Practice makes perfect. I'm still practicing because it ain't perfect. And I think, the best thing about drawing is you're still picking up new things. I'm still picking up new things. Like I said, I never knew about the whites of the eyes, which is why all my old pictures looked shocking. But yeah, that's the beauty of art, is you're constantly learning new techniques, and art is always evolving, and your taste in art will always evolve. And it's wonderful, that's what makes it awesome. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. It was my first ever live, so I'm sorry if it was bad. But if you guys like what I've done and liked my techniques, feel free to post on the page your progress and your pictures, because we love to see them. We love to see what you guys are working on. And that's me. That's Danni signing off. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys. Oh, where are we? There we are. See you guys.